Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Breaking Bad Review, Season 5, Episode 8, the mid-season finale. A lot of people say this is the season finale of Season 5, but we're not those people, so
Yeah, we're not those hipsters that say there's 6 seasons of Breaking Bad. There's only 5.
yeah.
I
Um,
wish there were 6.
yeah. I wish there was, yeah.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
but yeah, go look it up on Wikipedia. Go look it up. I won't say Netflix, because we know
Netflix
Netflix.
is always right. Remember how for RVB there was only 13 episodes?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, because they have them in volumes. I'm saying Netflix isn't the most reliable, but point
Yeah,
is, they're right on this one.
yeah. But I'm saying Wikipedia too, because Wikipedia is pretty. I know schools will say it's not reliable, but they're pretty reliable when it comes to like TV shows and
School,
things like.
school
Yeah,
says they're reliable for me. They're like, oh yeah, just go on Wikipedia.
yeah. So, I didn't even introduce the person on the video with me. Want to introduce yourself? Cause
Oh yeah, I'm AJ. I'm the guy who's been on half of these videos already.
yeah, and I'm Owen Finch. I've been on every video that's ever been released on this channel. So,
No, on every video ever.
yeah. Um, but yeah, let's talk about this ep- episode. We never have like the smoothest intros. It's always very cringy. So
Yeah, no, we ramble a bit. Towards
yeah,
the end, beginning, we always ramble. Uh, Name of this episode is Gliding All Over, I think, right?
yeah, you'll find
Or Gliding
like,
Over.
gliding overall. So yeah, there's a reason it's called this, but we'll get into that when because it ties. I'm assuming you knew it ties into the end of the episode. It does. Um, and this episode came out on September 2nd, 2012. And that's it. That's all we have to say. Like we could talk about the featured music, but we'll probably get into that as we do the review. But let's talk about the actual episode itself. The episode kicks off with
Oh, sorry. Head. This is tied for my favorite episode of the series, so that should
yeah.
far.
So far, it's my favorite, but obviously, I probably haven't seen because you said the next episode is the tied with this favorite, right? It's the
Nah, I'd say this and like the episode where Gus dies are
okay.
my favorite.
Yeah, we have to. Well, obviously, one day when we go back and we watch the show again, I think what we're gonna
Yeah,
do.
we'll like.
Yeah, we'll make like best episodes of Breaking. We gotta do a worst too, because that would be tough.
Oh, Fly's #1. There you go.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying we gotta pick a top five because it would be tough to come up with five of the worst episodes.
Oh yeah,
Like,
the show's great. The show's great. All the episodes are like I don't think we've ever had an episode that's like below B minus.
well, I mean the Fly episode was probably a below.
Yeah, even then, not.
Yeah. But anyhow, we're gonna talk about other things. But yeah, it kicks off. Speaking of flies, it shows a fly right in the beginning, which you thought
Yeah,
we were watching Dex because we watched this episode together. So, um, which I wish like if we didn't have copyright problems, we could have done it because that reaction,
and awesome. Yeah,
yeah,
his
so,
your
like,
reaction towards the end was awesome.
yeah. Which we'll get into that. You can even
Yeah,
explain it because obviously you were able to see like my actual face like when I react.
yeah,
So,
yeah. That was great.
um. But anyhow, it shows a fly, and you thought we were watching Dexter because apparently you said that Dexter always starts off that way. So
Yeah, with like a bug, not really a fly, but
yeah, and it's kind of like Walt, and he's like Eisenbergy because the scenery's all dark, and this is like almost like immediately after Mike died, pretty
right.
much. And I think it's like that night.
Yeah, he has him in his trunk of his car.
Yeah. Well, no, yeah, he does. And Todd comes over. We forgot to talk about this in the last episode because we were so focused on Mike's death. They did do a scene where Walt and Todd did like a cook together. So like Todd and Walt are now.
Yeah, so like Todd's like the new replacement Jesse now that Jesse's out.
Yeah, and Todd takes a cab to get over there, and Walt wants to make sure like he wasn't questioned. Before that because I think he mentioned too like he did something to Mike, like he turned Mike's car into like a cube because
Yeah, to
all
like
this,
with it.
yeah, and they're about to melt Mike with chlorophoric acid or whatever it's called.
Yeah,
Um,
the acid stuff.
yeah, and Jesse comes in, and Walt hides Mike, which is I think this is the first time that like other than the ricin that been kept like a secret from Jesse because he knows Jesse's gonna be pissed if he finds Mike dead. So
I mean, he did, lie about the whole Brock thing
yeah, I
and
know
the
that.
Shane thing.
I was
And
gonna.
he's lied to Jesse a lot, actually.
Yeah, I see. It was like one of those things where it came to my mind like right after I already started saying my sentence, so
Yeah.
I tried to save myself, but I guess it didn't work. So,
Well,
um,
no, it didn't work. You humiliated yourself. For
yeah,
shame. For shame.
um,
Um,
so
but
Jesse is asking, what are the?
Walt's super salty about Jesse being, out of the game. So he's like, "Who's
Yeah,
we, Jesse?" And like just trying to get rid of him. I mean,
I
I feel
did like,
like 50% of it was him being salty, and the other 50% was like him just trying to get Jesse away.
yeah,
Because he knows if he finds out about Mike, he's gonna flip.
I did like how he asked where Mike is, and Walter says, Mike's gone, and and you and I when we watched it, we're like, yeah, Mike's a lot closer than you think, Jesse. So,
Yeah.
because he was like he's right in the trunk, so.
Yeah, he's like literally right next to him.
Yeah. But yeah, I like how Walt was being salty because he's like you said, Jesse says, well, so what are we going to do about these 9 prisoners? Which is now it's 10 because of the lawyers included.
Yeah.
So, and Walt, like you said, Walt's just like, what do you mean you're out? So yeah, Walt's just being salty right there. So I think then it just goes right into the intro. I don't think anything else happens. Like it doesn't actually show.
No, the first part's pretty basic, just like dealing with the aftermath of the last one.
Yeah. Because I don't think it actually shows a melting Mike.
No.
But that, I guess they wanted. They probably were thinking about showing that, but they probably didn't have a lot of time in the episode, and it kind of would have been sad
plus,
to see.
like we've already seen it like a million times, so it's like
Yeah.
we kind of assume.
So I like that Breaking Bad doesn't like overdo a good thing. What they realize like, okay, this is an awesome
thing being melting people.
Yeah. And then it cuts to the actual episode itself, and I believe the episode actually starts. I don't, because Lydia doesn't happen first. What actually happens first? I forget exactly what happens.
I don't remember either.
This is what we got Wikipedia for.
Yep.
No, it is.
According to all school assignments.
It is actually. I mean, that's what it says on Wikipedia. I know that's not first, but if we're forgetting something, then we forgot something. So.
Yeah. We'll bring it up in the next one if like the Todd thing.
Yeah. So Walt goes to
Lydia. Lydia's super paranoid as always. Oh, you want to
I'll let you talk about it.
Okay, cool. So Lydia's paranoid as always. Walt is like something I like about the scene is Walt is like the Gus figure now. He's the intimidating like head honcho figure.
Yeah. And he's dressed as Eisenberg too.
Yeah. By the way, Walt dressed in the most suspicious like drug king attire possible. He's got the fancy hat, the sunglasses, the black jacket. Like he's dressed so like shady.
I bet in real life, like if this was actually happening, like if they saw Walt come in, they would have been like, okay, this
guy's like, clearly like a pimp or something.
Yeah, maybe, but I did, and like Walt even knows like he's not gonna get caught because Lydia tells him like to order something to make it not look suspicious. He just thinks he has it all figured out now. Like, no, I got this. Like,
his ego is so and like this is definitely isn't like the Walter from the beginning. Like he knows what he's doing now.
Yeah.
He's been in the game for a year now.
At least we thought he knew what he was doing until the end. So.
Yeah. Well, you can't even really blame him for that one.
We'll get into that.
Yeah. So. Walt wants the 9 names because Mike wouldn't give it to him, or the 10 names now, as Lydia points out.
Yeah.
But she wants to make sure that after she gives him the names, she's in just like another liability, like Mike was. So she says that
because she asks about where Mike is, and when Walt does, Walt
doesn't answer, so she's like, "Yeah, I thought so."
Yeah.
So she points out that the Czech Republic is in dire need of methamphetamine, or like a lot of meth addicts there. So they could take Europe by storm because their product is like unseen there.
Yeah.
So this episode is like the height of Heisenberg's power. Like he's the most powerful here, I feel.
Yeah, I think so.
So Walt agrees that they will bring their products overseas, make like double their profits. And he gets the 10 names from Lydia. And then, do you want to talk about what happens next?
Well, then they actually, so I was reading some like production, and they actually redid a lot of like old scenes from the show, except with like Walt says,
Using
we're
a
gonna
lot
make
of
a
old quotes, yeah.
he says we're gonna make a lot of money together. That was a reference to when Tuco said that to him, like at the end of the first season,
Right.
which that's kind of funny too because now Walt he's actually even above Tuco level, but it just kind of shows like how like we talked about how different Walt is now versus
Actually, Wisecrack made a couple videos on Breaking Bad, and they point out that Walt starts to like take on traits of people that he's killed.
yeah.
Like later on in the episode, he orders the same drink Mike did. He and like he says things that certain other people say. He
Yeah.
cuts the crust off his bread like Crazy Eight. Like
Yeah.
he becomes like the people he kills. So
And I was
that's
gonna
really cool that they pointed it out.
I was just about to point up the other one. Like he says to Lydia, "Learn to take yes for an answer." That's what that's the same thing Mike said when to Walt at season 4, episode 2, when Mike was telling him that about how he got the job with Gus. So,
So I think it's really cool how like Walt is like now just like all these people he's killed rolled into one.
So then I think then he just leaves. I don't think anything else really. They shake hands on it too, which I didn't think at first he was gonna like shake her hand. I thought he was just gonna like put his hat on and leave.
And they do bring up that Walt did swear on his kid's life because before they never show if he did when Lydia asked him to. This confirmed that like he did, which is, it doesn't really mean anything, but it does show like he's more messed up now. Like what dad would swear on their kid's life,
Yeah, and also too, they do talk about like how Gus was gonna have the exact same deal that Walt had, but then Lydia brings up that Gus died. No, and I think she probably has a feeling that Walt probably killed Gus.
I think she knows that Walt did it. She's like, until someone killed him, like the way she said it.
Yeah.
I think she knows that Walt was the one who killed him.
So then, Walt. Then they leave the coffee shop, and I believe Walt's at his house. And he's asking for he calls Todd and wants to meet with his uncle now because he has connections within the police and stuff like that now. So obviously this is where Todd can be useful. So Walt is meeting with his uncle. Obviously, you said you would explain it because the Breaking Bad doesn't really tell you what they are exactly.
Yeah, like I will, in my defense, I was like 15 when I first saw this. And so it flew over my head that they are neo-Nazis or white supremacists.
Yeah.
And, like I should have known from all the Nazi symbols all over them.
Yeah, exactly.
And like just the way they're dressed.
And this ties in also to an old Breaking Bad episode because Walt's staring at a picture, and it actually says that the picture that Walt was staring at was like a picture that was used in season 2, episode 9. I did try to find it, but it's probably like,
hang on, I got my dog out. Give me a second.
Yeah.
You keep going.
But yeah, I did try to find that episode, but you can't find that episode like looking for it quickly. You probably have to watch the whole episode, but it does tell you that it's in season 2, episode 9. The episode where like Walt goes to the hospital after supposedly he was in like his fugue state after his kidnapping of Tuco. But you can't. It's probably like it's basically just an Easter egg. It's not like a big scene.
Yeah.
So
sorry about that. We are professionals here at Owen Talkinator, CM Brothers, Wrestling Fortune, Ford, AJ Talent. Only the best here.
So I was just saying that painting that Walt was staring at in this episode was a Easter egg from season 2, episode 9 because it says they used the same painting. I did try to find it in that episode, but you probably have to like watch the whole episode to find it. You can't like skim through it to find it. So it's probably like an Easter egg. So, and then they're talking about ways because Walt wants to just kill all these guys all at once, but they're not all in the same prisons. So it's like not physically possible to kill all these guys at once. At least, we're not supposed to think so. But,
Well, just like, you got the neo-Nazis have multiple members of the group in the prisons.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's hard to, like, get them all organized in that way,
Yeah. So, I I even like what Walt says. At first, too, he's just so nonchalant, like he's just staring at this painting until the guy like gets his attention, and then he's like, "It's gonna work. It is gonna. It can happen the way I want it to happen, and it's gonna happen the way I want." Basically, showing that he runs the empire pretty much.
Right,
Um,
like he's in charge. He's the big man.
so I'll let
And
you talk about the next scene because
well,
I mean,
first off, in this scene, they make a joke about how killing Bin Laden wasn't as
yeah.
hard as this is gonna be.
Which
Plot hole is this takes place in like 2009, 2010, right? Bin Laden
so-
didn't get killed till 2011.
correct, yeah.
So
So
hot hole Breaking Bad.
yeah, I'm not gonna complain about it too much though
Oh
because
yeah, no, it's just a funny little thing we noticed.
yeah. Uh, I mean, obviously, too, we don't, yeah, shows take place in different universes, so maybe they got him earlier in this show than
Yeah,
they
maybe.
did. So, but that is a little plot hole right there. But yeah, I'll let you talk about this scene, actually, because this is your second favorite scene of Breaking Bad. Because I'm talking about the ending, because I feel like I have to talk about that, because
Oh yeah, you can talk about that.
yeah,
So this scene, it's very Godfathery, which is something I really like. And Walt sets his clock in his own home, completely safe, and sets it for 1 minute, and then we see a scene of just all these prison killings of the ten guys who were in
well,
custody.
9 of them, because we didn't
Well,
see
9
that.
of them, and then the lawyer.
Yeah,
And like this like cool like I want to say jazzy music is playing in the background.
I believe I have the song, because Wikipedia's got the song for you. I believe it's I can't. It's Laura Frazier. I'm sorry. No, I'm reading the guest appearances, so that's not a song. "Pick Yourself Up" by Nate King
Yeah.
Cole. All right.
Which is a really good song.
Yes. Really fit the mood of these killings too.
This episode had a lot of great music.
Yes. And yeah,
It's like a really just messed up scene of Walt like getting all these people brutally killed.
yeah. One of them gets like set on fire, and
Yeah.
basically though the
Stabbed in the head and thrown off a flight of stairs.
yeah, basically though the main way they kill him is they just knife him like repeatedly, like
Yeah, just shank him over and over.
yeah,
One of them got shanked in the shower, so I feel bad for him.
yeah. Which I'm assuming that's like a common like prison rule. Like if you go to jail, like if you rape somebody, they'll knife you in the shower. I believe.
I don't think he got raped. I think it was just like he was in the shower defenseless till they stabbed him.
No, I'm saying like if the person itself gets arrested for rape, they'll knife you in the shower.
Oh yeah.
It's something like that. It's something like that. I don't think it's exactly that, but
Yeah, kind of just like a child predator, like they're screwed if they go to prison type of thing.
yeah. Because like prisoners take a lot of shit, but rape they don't like. They don't like. So
Yeah, it's like a honor amongst thieves type of thing, I guess.
yeah. And I just loved it too because right after like it's all over, you just see the clock end and you just see Walt / Eisenberg at like the height of his power, like just casually sipping his coffee and stuff. And it just made me remember what the first scene was it wasn't anything important. Hank and Gomez like interrogating the lawyer and like his attorney. So that was what I forgot about. So but then I'm assuming the attorney died. We don't exactly see him die, but
Yeah, we do.
oh, we do. I must have missed
First
it.
on the telephone, remember?
Oh yeah, right. So then Hank too is I feel bad for him because
Yeah,
he's like
taking
doing
pictures with, like a local cheerleading team or something.
yeah, like probably doing some sort of fundraiser, and Gomez comes in and he tells him pretty much that this situation happened. So
Hank was pretty
went,
messed up by it later, as we see.
yeah. So later on Walt's visiting his kid, and I think something tells me like Walt did this like on purpose too. Like I don't think he wanted to see like Hank suffer, but
You kind of want to see like the extent of his power, I guess.
yeah, because it goes on the news and Marie turns it off because she knows Hank's about to come back, and Hank had to deal with this all day pretty much too. So Hank comes home, and I think this is when he orders the same drink that Mike did because
Yeah.
um and I like this scene a lot because Hank even talks about how he used to, you know, not do tree work where he wouldn't actually cut down the trees, but he would mark the trees that need to be cut. And he
Right.
talked about how,
Yeah, just to like get some money, extra money while he's in college.
yeah, he
And
talked
how
about,
like to complain about it because it was hot and everything, but now that compared to what he's doing now, it seems a lot better.
yeah. And I loved, like how it just like you see Walt be like Walt, and then the scene next to him is like him being Eisenberg, like cooking at,
Yeah, like his yellow jumpsuit. Yeah.
yeah. And then obviously, afterwards, it actually shows Walt at the height of his power, like Eisenberg at the height of his power, because the big montage is, Eisenberg cooking and, Lydia, him transferring the meth over to Lydia, and it just kind of shows that whole process. And this is like one of those scenes where you really can't explain. You just have to go watch like this montage of like, Eisenberg at the height of his power, because this really
Yeah,
shows.
you see like them transferring it over the planes and all the money
Yeah.
they're making. How Skyler's having to laundry all this much.
Yeah, and then
But you see,
you
like
know,
towards the end, Walt's but like he's pissed off or like he's depressed about it. Like it's not fun anymore.
yeah, and also too that like you see Walt too just with um the tents too. Like I like that scene where they would just like they show like
Tenting like whole neighborhoods.
yeah,
And,
um, and then they're back and it pretty much cuts into Skylar and Marie's part of the story. We finally see like Skylar actually like I think this is the first time she smiled all season when she sees her daughter walk and stuff like that. Which I know we hate Skylar, but it was nice to finally see her smile for once.
I really like Marie. A lot of people give Marie flack, but like scenes like this make me really like her.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna say Walter Jr. I know he's calling himself Flynn right now, but I'm not playing by their rules. So,
We play by our own rules.
yeah. So he's kind of blowing, his parents off because he's upset that he can't go home pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, I would too.
Yeah. Like we talked about this, it's very relatable, like what Walter Jr. is going through when it comes to parents fighting and stuff like that.
Of course, it's a bit more complicated than he knows.
Yeah. And Marie basically suggests, seeing that Skylar's happy again, and we find out here that it's been 3 months since
They started living with them.
yeah, I was gonna try to name I think it was like episode 4 or something of this season. So
Yeah, so it's been a while.
yeah, and she suggests that they go back because the best way to rebuild the family is to actually, literally rebuild the family, have the family go home.
They can't really fix anything if they're just, in completely different houses.
And I think I feel like though there's more of a reason, like, because Hank's dealing with a lot at work right now because of these killings too, so she doesn't want to say that too because she probably can't really talk about it because, it's work related, so,
and Marie's overall like a good person. She's trying to help everyone,
Yeah. So, Skylar, tells Walt to take a drive with him, which leads us to go into like a storage unit where she's been laundering all his money because
because this is just like the stash of money she can't launder.
Yeah.
It's a huge stack of money. Like
yeah. Yeah, she doesn't even know how much it is because she said she just stopped counting it after a while too and stuff. And Skylar pretty much says that she wants her life back. She wants her kids back, and she's asking Walt like, how much more money do you need to make before enough's enough, pretty much, because Walt's now at this
point this out. Like Walt started off wanting less than $1 million. He's
Yeah.
got so much more times than that now.
Yeah, like I think his great grandkids are gonna be set for life at this point.
Yeah, with this money, I'm pretty sure they'd be living pretty comfortably.
Yeah. So then it shows like another montage. This was another callback to season 2, episode 9, where it shows, I think we pretty much assume that Walt's going back to being a high school teacher because it shows him in the bathroom where He's like punched that like metal tin container thing that's like
Was that at the school? I thought that was just like a random like gas station.
or maybe it was. I thought it was at the school, but and we see, they also do a call back to like the first episode of the season where he goes for like his chemo and stuff.
Yeah, like same shot exactly, except he looks different.
Yeah, and I'll let you talk about this scene when he actually goes to Jesse's house.
Walt goes to Jesse's house, and it's pretty awkward about it, considering the last time they were fighting and like screaming at each other. Walt says he's just in a neighborhood, and they start talking about the old RV and like all the tough times they had with it. But you can tell like that they appreciate it in hindsight. Like it was kind of fun for them.
I liked one scene. They even talked about the story like how they ran out of gas and Jesse had to go to the gas station and get like another gas, and Walt was just worried the cops would come. I really wish we could have gotten a scene.
Yeah, that would have been a cool episode.
Yeah, and it's kind of awkward in a way too because it kind of feels like the relationship isn't as strong too.
That was back then,
yeah. Yeah.
It kind of gets with all the crazy things that are happening now.
Walt leaves, but he says, but he left something for Jesse. And we obviously knew what it was going to be. It was going to be the $5 million. It
was going to be half of Ghost's face.
That would have been hilarious.
Oh, that would have been great.
And he like breaks down because this is pretty believable because people
what do you do with all that money? And actually, Walt says it earlier, like it's blood money. So at the same time, it's like, what do you do when you have all this money? But like, it's like you killed so many people to get it.
Yeah. And he even like throws a gun down. Not that Walt gave him, just the one that he had. So that makes us question: was Jesse just gonna kill himself before he got?
As he hid it from Walter when he first got here, but he had like a.
Oh, Skype, don't do this. Wow, Skype. Wow.
Hey, sorry about that, guys. Skype wanted to be Skype on us, and
yeah.
Very end. Anyway, Jesse, he's gone from like 0 to 100. Like he went from nothing and like just using again, and possibly thinking about killing himself to having all this money, but like at the same time, what did this money cost?
Yeah. And I can't wait to see what happens, yeah. But then we get to the end, and the end.
I thought this was at the end of next episode. So when I saw what it was happening, I was like, oh boy, it's this one.
Yep.
I was waiting to see your face. I was like focused on your face. Like I cannot wait to see it.
And I'll be honest, you could find this clip on YouTube. I've watched it maybe several times over because it's just that awesome. So, basically, first Walt tells Skylar that he's out. That's
which we kind of figured from earlier, like how Walt was like now like feeling guilty about everything that's happened, and like you realized how much money he has now.
Yeah.
Also, I think he's getting bored with making meth. It's like before he was constantly like fighting for his life.
Yeah.
Now it's like just what do you do once you're at the top?
It's kind of like a lot of people ask those type of questions too. You think when you have all this power, you just get bored eventually. I forget the name of the movie, but it reminds me of that supervillain that like we thought the hero died and he was finally like on top of the world.
Oh, Megamind.
Yeah, and he was like
watching a psychology class actually.
Yeah, and he finally like had it all, but he realized he was just bored having all the power.
Here to fight. Like, what's the point?
Yeah, and that's
like,
why
at the end, after the whole Tuco thing with the when he blew up his headquarters, like how he was like screaming and like adrenaline was pumping through him in the car.
Yeah.
Now it's like the opposite of that. Like he doesn't have that thrill anymore.
Yeah. So, then everything seems to be okay. Hank, Maria over, they're having like a nice family day. You don't really hear exactly what they're talking about, but
just like random stuff,
Yeah. But I like, and
Junior's
then
Ollie
Hank goes to the bathroom. And
couldn't just take a piss. He had to take a crap.
Yeah, that's important because it ties into the next thing. He's reading, what you would normally do if you take a crap, read through magazines because you need something to do.
Yeah.
What does he pick up? The Walt Whitman
book that Gail gave him.
Yeah. And he thinks nothing of it, I think. He's a little suspicious that he has this, but I'm assuming Hank's like, okay, because obviously
the nerd, he probably has nerdy things.
But then he goes through the book and he opens the front page of it, and it says, "To my other WW, it was a pleasure working with you. Signed, Gail," or something to that measure.
To my WW type of thing,
Yeah. And Hank remembers, and this scene. So now we've, and you know what? This was the first episode we reviewed together. So, the conversation that Walt and Hank had with each other, where he's wondering who WW was, and it shows that scene where he says Walter White, and Walter jokingly would say, "You got me," because now it's serious.
See Hank's face, and he's just like, "Oh my god!" Like the penny dropped,
Yeah.
Only thing that could have made that scene better is after it turns to black, you hear a noise.
Yeah.
Like shit drop, And seeing your face, you got like really close to the camera, like that was awesome. Seeing like your mouth drop, your jaw drop, which was great.
And this scene is like, I love also the prison scene, but I think this scene thus far is like one of my favorite scenes of the show because now
it's
a
great scene, because it's like you've been waiting 4.5 seasons. 5 if you consider this the season finale, guys. All right, whatever. Yeah. But 4.5 if you're a normal person, for this scene to happen.
I didn't think
realize.
I didn't think it was ever gonna happen. I just thought I kind of thought like Hank was gonna catch him, but it was gonna be like too late or something by that point, or
And man, poor Walt, man, like he finally quits. He's finally out of the game, and then Hank finds out.
Yeah.
Like he was in the home stretch.
Yeah. So by the time Walt quit, it was too late. So
yeah. So it was the opposite of what you thought was going to happen.
Yeah. I just love it because now that this scene's happened, and like it's going to change the whole show because the whole show basically, not the whole show, but most of the show has been Hank trying to find Eisenberg, and he always thinks he finds him with Gus or Gail or anybody. And now he's finally found, like, it's going to change the whole,
foundation
direction.
Of the show, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And I just love it. And I found the YouTube video of it with, I'm not going to, I don't remember the comments off the top of my head, but, people just in shock. But there's other things like, if I always talk about if iPhones existed, Eisenberg, probably wouldn't get away with this much. This is a case where iPhone would have benefited Walt because instead of the book, Hank would have pulled out his iPhone. This would have benefited Walt.
Yeah.
And I just think about it too, like Hank's been trying everything to find Eisenberg, and it just took him going to take a crap to finally find.
Which is very Breaking Bad. It's like not this big dramatic scene. It's just him taking a shit.
Yeah, and I also someone did print it. Because you always have those critics asking why would Walt just leave a book there, knowing that someone could possibly go through it.
Well, first, it's like it's in his house, and it's in his bathroom. Like, why would he assume that someone's gonna go in there, find it, and look at that exact quote?
Yeah, and also too, like, I feel like too, like it was just like one of those stupid mistake things that he made too, like
just like it's like one of those little things you just overlook. You don't even think about it.
Yeah, so it was just awesome. I can't wait to see because now Walt and Hank's like relationship's going to be very different now too. Like they've always been.
Now Hank realized that he's not just like his goody two shoes brother-in-law. He's this arch villain that's killing people.
Yeah, and also too, like we've talked about this like before. They've always kind of like had like this feud, but not known. Like Walt's known, but Hank's not known. Like it's been like a feud. Now it's like completely changed. So yeah, it just completely and it's also too like what we'll also because I was we're also looking forward to seeing what how we're gonna get to that 2 year time jump with that we saw at the
Well,
beginning of the
it's
season.
more like 6 months now because it's like, well, it's been 51 for a good couple months.
Yeah. And also, 2 weeks has also gone by because when Walt met with Jesse, I think 2 weeks had gone by since he like pulled out
Oh,
of.
was it 2 weeks? I thought it was more than that. I thought it was like a month.
Well, it was 3 months. When, um, yeah, or maybe, yeah, but also too, it could have been the same day actually. Actually, so we know it's been at least 3 months since episode 4 to now because Hank
Yeah.
Marie told us that. So,
Yeah.
um,
So yeah. Where we saw him at the beginning is like 9 months away.
yeah. Um, so, because obviously too, we know he has all this money. We know he's been using an alias name now. So this might, obviously, spoiler free, but this is gonna explain that.
Well,
And yeah,
yeah, I know what happens. You don't. So
yeah,
anything you say isn't really a spoiler.
yeah. Well, I'm just saying spoiler free for your sake, anyways. So, um, and also too, you did tell me that like the 2 year time jump doesn't happen the next episode. I'm kind of glad it doesn't now because we need to because obviously you can't just do a 2 year time jump after a scene like this. Like,
Yeah, yeah, you gotta like build up to it.
yeah,
Yeah, you were surprised because I didn't go into detail, but I said like the time jump doesn't happen until like episode like 12 or 13, and then you were like, oh wow, I'm surprised it takes that long.
yeah. But now I understand why it's gonna take that long
Yeah,
because of this scene right here. What about you? What was your like reaction to this scene when you first saw it? Were you surprised
I was
or
finally, because it's like this has been like the clash you've been waiting to see since episode 1. You know eventually Hank's gonna find out.
yeah? And I even love it too. Someone did comment on that video saying, basically by just this scene, Hank watched seasons 1 through 4 of Breaking Bad
Oh
just
yeah,
based off.
in one instance, yeah.
Yeah,
And
um,
I like how in a way Gale got his revenge, and from beyond the grave.
yeah, because of this note right here. Because really, Gale was like an innocent bystander in all of
Yeah,
this
he didn't
too.
really
Like,
do anything wrong.
yeah, he just,
I mean, like he was a criminal. Don't get me wrong, but like he was so like innocent about it.
yeah,
Like, he didn't really want to hurt anybody. He was trying to help people in a way.
and he got killed because Gus was gonna kill Walt and stuff too.
Yeah, and it
So
was just like kill or be killed type of thing.
yeah, but yeah, now we got to do the letter grade. I think we're
Oh, A
pretty,
plus easily,
yeah,
not even a question.
yeah. I mean,
This is probably my favorite episode, or at least tied for my favorite.
yeah, because this episode, and we don't even need to explain why. We already explained it. This scene adds the plus into it. Like obviously, two of the episodes maybe would have been an A plus without it, but I really don't know. I think this scene just makes it an A plus in
Oh
and
yeah,
of itself.
this whole episode changes everything.
Yeah.
You
And
get
now
to
we
see
get to see,
Walt at the height of his power, the prison killings, Hank finding out,
yeah.
Jesse, what's going on with him. It was all great.
So typically what I like to do when I do like a mid-season, like, when I get to the mid-season finale, what are your thoughts on this? I mean, obviously, without, we've revealing the second half of it. What first half of the season, your thoughts?
Oh, season 5 is my favorite season for a reason. I love it. Every episode has been great.
Yeah. I agree with that. And
And hey,
obviously,
there's a reason why this episode is a standalone review, not just because we're lazy.
yeah, because
This episode deserves its own standalone review.
yeah, I feel like too, just with this scene, with Hank and stuff, it deserves its own standalone review. So,
Yeah.
but I love it too. Like you also get to see, this is probably the most Eisenberg we've seen. Well, the whole show too. We didn't really discuss that too much. And obviously too, I liked Jesse. Even though he wasn't in this episode that much, the times we saw him were very significant and stuff too. So, and obviously you had that great, awesome prison just kill. So I loved it. Really nothing left to say. So are we watching episode 9 together? Or,
Probably, yeah.
okay. Is that going to be?
That sometime this week, I guess.
Yeah. Is that going to be its own review too?
Probably, yeah.
Okay. Because obviously you know more than I do, so I'm just asking you if it has
Pretty
to be.
significant. It should be like 9, 10, 11, 12, 13,
Okay.
14, like 15 should be its own standalone thing. Or
Well,
if it does it end with 15 or 16? I forget.
16.
Okay, so yeah, like it should be like 9 is its own standalone thing, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and then 16 is its own.
Okay. Um, I mean, obviously too, because we can't. A lot of the second half is probably going to be like a very significant season because it's wrapping the whole show up. So.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that's pretty much the end of the
There might
video.
be 5 more Breaking Bad reviews, Kind of sad.
I know, yeah. I never, I never wanted it. It's kind of. I think we're gonna be done with this show within another week.
Yeah,
Maybe.
really, shouldn't take that long.
Yeah.
Depends on our schedules, I guess.
Well, I don't have school next week, so.
Oh right, yeah, you're on spring break. My spring break's not for another like 2 weeks.
So we will have this show done within 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So expect a we will announce this too. When we finish the show.
When we finish the show, we'll have a channel update.
Yeah.
And we still got like the season reviews and series review, I guess, right?
Yeah, we can do that, but obviously we won't. I might say wait. Maybe we'll wait till the summer to do that because I don't. When's the movie supposed to come out?
I don't know. Probably around the summer.
I can't look it up right now. So.
Yeah, I'll look it up.
Well, you could. Well, we'll end this video first.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead. All right. See you later, everybody. Check me out at AJ Talent. Check him out at CM Brothers, Owen Talkinator, and Wrestling Fortune 44.
Yep. And that's pretty much it, guys. We will talk to you guys later.